Boom. All right. What's up, everybody? It's waba. And, yeah, this is going to be not really too much of a different video. Almost all of my videos are pretty much the same. Anyway, so I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk kind of about a couple things that happened at the very start of Bestiary League, however you want to say it. And what build I'm actually going to be playing, and a couple other kind of general updates, and actually some kind of good news. First off, let's just get the general good news out of the way. Right here, what I actually opened up on, this is actually, there is a PC, a LAN cafe where I live, called the Dojo. And they were kind enough to let me kind of like audition stream today, and kind of figure out if I could be one of their primary streamers. This is a game of me playing League of Legends, clearly, or a video of me playing League of Legends. And the good news is, I think I'm going to be streaming there on a pretty regular basis. I had initially did this on their Twitch today, but from here on out, it's actually going to be on my Twitch, and it's going to be restreamed to their Twitch as well, which is good because there's been a lot of things holding me back from streaming on a regular basis. Mostly it's just my setup, or my lackluster setup. Like, I have an old graphics card. My sound isn't really too good. It's really inconsistent with my microphone. So this, and so you can kind of see, this is essentially what you'll be getting at twitch.tv/waba quite often now. And I'm going to have a stream schedule that I'll set up with them, and then I'll also be able to share it with everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and just play this a little bit. That's pretty much that. I'm going to be streaming there on a pretty, well, like I said, I'm going to figure out my schedule with them soon. And when I'm actually doing that, I will update everyone, so I could have a nice quality stream, with, I don't know, just dedicated to that. And I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm really hoping that I could, utilize that, especially playing Path of Exile. And I'm probably going to play a little bit of League too. But anyway, let's talk about Path of Exile. So, first things first, Tailwind, while it might affect totem placement speed, which was like what I said in the Deadeye Siege Ballista video, it might affect totem placement speed. You will not proc Tailwind when you place a totem. For whatever reason, GGG has decided that using Siege Ballista, or I'd imagine just placing any totem, does not count as using a skill. So it doesn't let you maintain Tailwind, and for me, that means to maintain Tailwind and play a Deadeye Siege Ballista build, it's just too much of a hassle. Jesus Christ. There's someone who's very upset and he's yelling. Oh my god. He has no reason to be upset though. Anyway, so Tailwind cannot be maintained whenever you're putting down a Siege Ballista, which sucks, because that means maintaining Tailwind with the Siege Ballista build is just going to be way too much of a hassle. You'll essentially have to be spamming your Frenzy like non-stop, and then your Tailwind's going to fall off because its duration isn't like that long. And I don't know. I just got to a point where I got Tailwind. I got Gathering Winds on a Deadeye. I got about level 44. And once I realized it didn't work when you place the Siege Ballista, when it wouldn't even proc it, I don't know, I kind of lost hope in that build. So I'm actually gonna probably have to change that video a little bit. But that brings me to what I'm gonna be playing here. I was going through my YouTube channel, and I was looking at some old videos because I saw someone made a video about the build I played in 2.4, which was a Hierophant low life Shockwave Totem build. And I was looking at it, and I was thinking, and I was seeing someone else play, and I was just thinking, like, man, that's That's really good. Like, it was really solid. Obviously, the AoE was better back then, but it was really good. And they were talking about how they really enjoyed the build, and you know, it was like a first for a lot of things for them, and you know, that was great. But as I was thinking about it, I was like, wait a second, all right, wait. You know, right now with Hierophant, everyone is so focused on getting Conviction of Power and Divine Guidance, which is great and all. Like, it's fine, great. But maintaining power charges is, like, not hard. Really, the only thing you get out of this is the reduced elemental damage while you have it during charges, which is good. And also the 5% elemental penetration whenever you have a power charge. Like, fine, but maintaining power charges it's very easy in Path of Exile, especially when you spec in the power charges. So it's like, I don't think this node is nearly as good as people say. That's also why I was thinking, like, let's go with Arcane Blessing and use Illuminated Devotion, which has its own benefits. Especially for Shockwave Totem, because, you know, you're going to get a little bit of AoE, you get some spell damage, and then you're also going to be getting elemental element immunity, and then a level 1 Arcane Surge, which is still, DPS-wise, better than Conviction of Power. Better than the penetration that you'd get off of a base amount of power charges. And then, again, same argument can be made. If you spec for 6 power charges, you could just use an Orb of Storms with a power charge on crit. So that brings me to why I bring up the low Life Hierophant build. It was good, right? The AoE was good, the damage was good, but now the damage will be better because you will not have a penalty on your Shockwave Totem, or your totems at all with Ritual of Awakening. And you're going to have 50% placement speed, so it's going to be really, really fast. So why not just go low life Ritual of Awakening? It's going to be good. You could, you know, ES is going to be kind of a struggle. You're going to need some pretty good gear. You're going to want a Shavs eventually, but even with a Solaris Lorica, you can still manage to get about 7k ES. You know, maybe between the 6.5 to 7k ES, but your damage is going to be pretty good. But then you have the problem that you run into with AoE skills in general. AoE sucks. It does. AoE sucks right now. There's not even a way I could... I'm not even going to explain it. AoE just sucks right now, and it does not feel good. Projectiles are so much better. So, that said, I am just going to play, and this is going to be a very, very strong build. The damage is going to be there. It's going to be solid. I'm going to play a low life Hierophant Frostbolt Totem build. And this is the tree for it. Straightforward. You know, you're going to level, get pretty normal crit spell build. You can grab life, but as soon as you can, just switch over to low life. Get a Solaris Lorica, get a Prism Guardian, and just go right into it. Take Zealot's Oath, and you know, you're going to have triple purities. You could actually figure out some pretty unique situations with your auras if you really want to. Like, you can get a Grace in there if you want. You can get an Anger if you really wanted to add that. You can do that, but you know, like, you have room. So this is the build I'm going to be playing. It's just going to be a low life Frostbolt Totem. So this is the passive tree. Pretty normal. As much ES as you can get. As you can see, we have 255% ES on the passive tree, which you could probably drop some. We have 2 Frozen Trail jewels, but we do have access to 2 other jewel sockets and potentially another one. This is only level 93, which is pretty high, but it's whatever. And yeah, you're going to grab all the crit nodes. It's pretty normal. And this is going to, honestly, like a well-geared low-life Frostbolt Totem build will have as much effective health, if not more, than a life than the life variant of it. Than a mind over matter life variant of it. It will. It's just like the numbers are there. And on top of that, there's definitely some value in the fact that your effective health is on one resource. With mind over matter, you get into these situations where you have flasks that instantly restore your life, but you don't generally have a flask that instantly restores your mana. So whenever you do flask back up after a large hit, generally your mana is not right there with it. So it gives you it could potentially give you a false sense of security where you hit that seething divine life flask and you go right back up to 5k HP after you spam that flask, but you no longer have your 3500 unreserved mana as a buffer. And so the next hit, it hits you for the same amount and you die. Like, even though your mana regen would be pretty good, it's still not that good. Like, so since you only ever like instantly restore half of your effective health pool. Well, with Energy Shield, you just won't have that issue. With low life, you just won't have the issue because you're never going to be taking damage on your mana. It's your effective health pool is in one resource, and there is some value to that. I'm not saying that it's definitively better. I'm just saying that it's a perfectly viable option when you compare it to a life mind over matter character. They each have their drawbacks and their pros over each other. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Let's go ahead and talk about the skills. This might change a little bit just because I can't recall every single thing about it. But Frostbolt with Spell Totem, faster casting, Cold Pen, Control Destruction, and increased critical strikes. Discipline, Herald of Ice, and then you could also have all your other auras. You would go Triple Purity, which would be pretty good. Frostbomb, Summon Lightning, Golem, and then I think Projectile Weakness actually kind of wins out. But, this could be a not conductivity, Frostbite, Elemental Weakness, whatever. Assassin's Mark if you really want to. The thing that kind of has me excited about this is having played a Frostbolt Totem build before, it will be nice to play a crit version of it because you can see that your effective crit is pretty high with this build. It's a 75% chance. And when you have 3 totems or 4, depending on how you spec your tree, you're going to be critting quite a bit. You're going to be shattering everything, and it's going to be pretty good. Items, I put generic items in here. Just a little bit of ES on your rings. I got a crystal belt, some basic fingerless silk gloves, and just a Huber circlet. The nice thing about this is, since you wouldn't run any auras on a traditional Frostbolt Totem build, the only auras you really want or need to run is for a low life version would be Discipline and your Purities. And then your totems are going to be free, so you could reserve nearly all of your mana. And they're going to be 50% reduced mana cost, because Sanctuary of Thought's pretty OP when it comes to that. So, you don't have to use a Prism Guardian. I forgot about that, even as I started this video. Regular ES, Titanium Spirit Shield. You can obviously get more ES on that. You get more ES on the Solaris Lorica. You could get a Presence of Kyula, which obviously going to be a little expensive. This is the one thing that I will the caveat to this. A life version of Frostbolt Totems can easily run a Pandemonious unique amulet. You don't get that benefit with... you don't get that benefit the same way you do with low life, because you're probably going to want a Presence of Kyula. Because Presence of Kyula is really, really good. It gives you a ton of ES and a ton of chaos resist. It's insanely good. And they're probably going to be worth about the same between the two of them. So you could use Pandemonious on a low life build. You would just have to use a Valyrium or another way to get stun immunity. Sintrek, all pretty normal. Wise Oak, pretty normal. Frozen Trail, Frozen Trail. I didn't put any damage on the jewels. I just threw a % maximum energy shield in there. You have so much % energy shield that I'm very confident that that Abyss jewels would be better here. Also the same with the Crystal Belt. Darkness Enthroned will probably be your best friend for this build, just because you get damage, ES, and everything else you want on it. Should be pretty easy to get resist on this build because you're going to be running triple purities, and yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward. I mean, I know everyone is extremely hyped about Hierophant. I get it. But you just go low life. You could avoid any potential awkwardness with Mind Over Matter and mana regen and that part of it. Don't have to worry about the mana cost of it. And the one thing that you won't be able to ever really get though with this is Arcane Surge, because you're gonna have reduced mana cost of skills. So, you know, that does suck. Oh, and on top of that, Sanctuary of Thought got 10% less mana reserved of skills, which I remember when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's like nothing, but that is enough to, you know, be worthwhile. In Zizzarin's, I guess I'll go touch on this a little bit. Zizzarin did a starter build for Hierophant, and when I look at his tree, and I watched the video a little bit, I have to disagree with most of it, at least in the tree. He did say something that's really important that I think is worth mentioning, but whenever, especially with Frostbolt totems, 3 totems is enough. 4 totems will really only help you in terms of single target, but when it comes to map clear, 3 totems is plenty. So, you know, right here you can see that I only take the totem placement speed node, just because I'm greedy and I want more totem placement speed. If you really want more damage from Ancestral Bond, that's fine. But again, it won't really help you outside of single target. It will give you more life regen, which I guess is good, especially with Zelto. But he did say that, so that's good. Good on Zizzarin. However, the thing I really disagree with, though, and this is just for anyone who's playing a Hierophant totem build, pathing down to Constitution. Pathing from Sanctity to the Scion Life Wheel is not good. It's such a huge investment, and it's just, it's not worth it. You were spending 7 points just to get there, and then another 8 points just to get the life. It's just not worth it. You could get Devotion. I'm pretty sure in his tree I saw that he didn't even take Devotion. You have Cruel Preparation if you really needed more life. You have Blood Drinker. Coming all the way down here to the Silent Life Wheel for a crit totem build. It's a noob trap. I've played plenty of builds in hardcore, too high level. It's a noob trap. Don't do this part. Just get these other notes. I just wanted to throw that out there. So yeah, I'm going to be playing a low life Hierophant Frostbolt totem build. This is the passive treat. I'll put it in the description down below. You know, follow me on my Twitch, twitch.tv/wabacha. Look out for an upcoming schedule for me to stream somewhere where I have an actual setup that is not a piece of shit. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys later.